In men's varsity basketball, the Lake Orion Dragons hadn't won a district playoff game in 12 years. That streak stood until Thursday, when Orion defeated Romeo and accomplished a major victory. But now their celebration is over. 1.5 days later, the Dragons' season is on the line again. This afternoon, they'll play the dreaded Clarkston Wolves, and the underdog Dragons have a great chance to force a huge upset. Just over an hour ago, the Lake Orion team arrived here at Clarkston to play in today's district championship game. And as they came into the gym, they surely saw all the banners representing Clarkston's success. But with the win today, Orion will prevent the Wolves from adding another banner to their home court. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's title contest between the Dragons of Lake Orion and the Wolves of Clarkston. I'm Roger Smith, along with Steve Weingarten. And Steve, high school games don't get much bigger than today's contest. Orion and the Wolves are huge, longtime rivals, and the playoff atmosphere will add to today's intensity. Let's quickly go back and take a look at how both teams got here. The Dragons got a bye in the first round, but played on Thursday night, and it seems like we were just here 1.5 days ago. In that game, Steve, Orion had a 5-point lead, and Romeo tied it 26-26 at the half.
Yeah, that's right. The Dragons played real well in that game down the stretch. Saw a couple key free throws by Jason Kibbe. Mike Zielinski came through with a 16-point performance. Jonathan Kern stepped in, scored 8 points in the second half, and played great at the point. Orion had a 5-point lead, but Romeo was able to tie it at halftime, and that was one thing that Orion's going to have to try to avoid tonight.
The final score of that game was 50-47. As for Orion's opponents, they played 3 days ago here at Clarkston against Lapeer West, and this was another cakewalk for Clarkston. They won it 50-32. Clarkston's leading scorer was Dane Fife. He had 16 points and 10 boards, and he's the toughest player the Dragons will have to face on this Clarkston team. And Coach Dave Collins of Lake Orion talked about facing the sophomore Dane Fife.
I think we have to shut him down. I think that we've got to take him out of the basketball game in a way that he can't do the things that he wants to do on the floor to make everybody better. And we're going to have to shut him down. You're going to have to keep him off the boards. You can't give him the ball in transition. And you can't let him post up inside. The only thing we're going to give him is we're going to give him some looks from the outside, but we're hopefully not going to let him get inside on us.
Quite frankly, Clarkston seems to be arrogant about tonight's game. Perhaps they're too confident and overlooking it. And Steve, this is quite similar to a situation Lake Orion was involved in last year.
Yeah, that's right. Orion had to face Holly in the first round of last year's playoffs. Holly had only won 2 games. They had lost 18. Orion went in a little bit cocky. They had won 14, lost 6, and guess what happened, Roger? Orion lost in the first round to Holly, and they were able to avoid that this year. But now we might see the tables turned, as you pointed out. Clarkston might be looking forward a little bit before Orion's ready to give them anything.
This time, Orion is the underdog, but Coach Collins talked about how his team can hang with the Clarkston Wolves.
I would rather play them over there than at home. I want to be in their home ground. We want everything against us, and we've got everything against us going over there. We got everything to gain, nothing to lose, and that's the way we're looking at it. And we're going in there to win. We're not going in there to stay close or show that we can compete. We're going in there to win the basketball game. They don't think we can win. I don't think anybody in the county thinks that we can win. We think we can win, and that's why we're going there.
No doubt about it, this is the biggest game the Lake Orion basketball program has had in many years, but it's time to stop the pregame hype. It's time to get the players on the floor and get the game itself underway. We'll come back with tip-off. You're watching Dragon Sports on Channel 65.
The Oakland County parks are a great place to play and work. Enjoy being outdoors in a variety of seasonal jobs. Lifeguards keep watch at 3 sandy beaches and 2 wave action pools. Program leaders and specialists coordinate activities for all ages. Attendants and laborers assist visitors and beautify the parks. In winter, staff is needed for the Fridge, Michigan's first refrigerated toboggan run. For more information, call 810-858-0906.
And welcome back to Clarkston High School for today's championship game between the Wolves of this home team, Clarkston High School, and the Lake Orion Dragons. And Steve, it's a full house. This capacity crowd has been here for over an hour. They haven't allowed anyone in since noon. It's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon here on Saturday, March the 9th. And they're finally ready to tip things off. This crowd has been chanting for the past 45 minutes.
Yeah, the intensity's already going tonight, Roger. This crowd, as you said, got here early. They were waiting outside to get in. This is a big game, about as big as a game in high school basketball gets as far as crowd level. Arch rivals, they're going to get more intense as the game goes on.
The winner today goes on to the regional game on Tuesday. The loser sits down for the rest of the year. The ball's tipped up, and Clarkston wins the tip. Tim Wasilk wears number 4 for the maize and blue, same colors as Michigan wears. And now Clarkston starts to run their offense. This is Ryan Chapman, gives it off to Fife. Wasilk has it now. Wasilk, Fife, and Chapman are the top scorers for Clarkston. And that basket, scored by Tim Wasilk, gives Clarkston the early lead.
Yeah, and early on we see Jason Kibbe covering Dane Fife.
Yesterday in practice, the Dragons emphasized covering Dane Fife. We'll see if their defense holds up as now Lake Orion's on the offense. Kibbe near out of bounds. Here's Mundy. Lose control, got it off the glass, no good. Rebound, pulled down by Dane Fife. Clarkston comes the other way. Wasilk stops, puts it up for 3. No good. Rebound, Kibbe had it, lost it. Goes back into the hands of the Clarkston player. Now Fife for 3, doesn't make it. The Dragons will give Clarkston the look at the three-point shot, but they want to stop them from driving the lane. Now Zielinski lost control. Dragons are not sharp early.
And that's no surprise, Roger. The Dragons rarely come out sharp early, but today they do need to get a little bit sharper than they have been in the past in the first quarter.
7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Clarkston up 2-0. As Wasilk gives a bounce pass to Fife. Dane Fife wears number 12, and he's the younger brother of Dugan Fife, son of head coach Dan Fife. This shot by Chapman's no good. Rebound underneath. The Clarkston player falls down, and Lake Orion comes back. Here's Andy Lindemood. Dribbles up court and stops there.
He's got to slow it down.
Comes the other way. Zielinski for 3. That one's short. Dragons look a little nervous. Fight comes the other way. Lindemood's right there. Picked his pocket. The ball goes out of bounds as Jason Kibbe tried to get it, and it'll go back in Clarkston's favor.
Nice effort by Kibbe there at the end. What we've seen here is just what you said. Orion giving Clarkston a 3. Clarkston is shooting a 3. They've been off so far.
Now looking to throw the ball in, that's Chapman. Here's Wasilk. Decides to dribble out around the arc. Number 35 is Scott Hill. Now inside, Fife off the backside of the rim and in.
Orion's got to take their time and set up a half-court offense, work it inside to Monday or outside to Zielinski.
Here's Lindemood, tries to drive, in trouble. Bounce pass to Mundy as he was in trouble. Now here's Jamie, out of bounds, and looks like they'll call a push on Jamie.
No, I believe it's...
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it goes against Scott Hill. That's his first and the first foul of this afternoon's game. Lindemood will throw it in.
They want to find Monday in a lower post position than that, though. Don't have him dribble so much. Get him down low.
Here's Mundy. Dragons need to get a basket to get themselves in the game. They call traveling on Mundy, and Lake Orion turns it over again. .5:40 to go in the first quarter. Clarkston up 4-0, looking to add to that tally. Here's a shot by Fife. Counts for 2. His foot was on the perimeter line. 6-0. Dragons still without a point. 2.5 minutes into this contest. Here's Lindemood. Tries to go in the paint at the free throw line. Gave it off to Kibbe. Now Mundy. Dragons with a shot there. 2-pointers good for Jamie Mundy. Lake Orion's on the scoreboard.
And it's good to get your first 2 points in. As you said, they came out very nervous. Maybe that'll help out a bit.
Here's Wasilk. Turns, gives it off, and now Fife has it again. We'll call his name a lot tonight. Dane tries to drive the paint. Not even close to getting it near the hoop, but they call a foul, and Lake Orion will take that. They'd much rather send Fife to the line than let him get the easy shot from the paint.
That's going to go against Kibbe, I believe.
It is indeed against Jason Kibbe, the senior, son of junior varsity coach Gary Kibbe. And I believe Gary is in attendance tonight, along with 1,500 other people. We talked about how this game was sold out before noon. They only had 300 seats left to sell. This morning, the schools were allotted certain quantities earlier in the week and already had sold those tickets. Fife's first shot is no good.
Going back to Kibbe for a second, Coach Collins is going to look for a little extra out of Jason tonight. He's going to have to play some tough defense, a size disadvantage against Dane Fife, but he's going to have to cover Dane tight and take away some of the easy baskets.
Kibbe played strong defense in that game Thursday against Romeo. Here's Lindemuth, 7-2. Clarkston has led early throughout the game. Here's Kibbe, gives it off to Lindemuth. Dragons looking to slow things down and set up the offense. Here's Mundy. Mundy tries another two-point shot. That one bounces high. Rebound was pulled down and a foul is called against number 5, Bill Goforth.
It will be interesting to see the first substitution Lake Orion makes, and I'm going to bet, nope, actually they just made it, never mind. It's Josh Muskin, that's who I was going to guess was going to come in so they can develop that inside game a little bit more. Monday's working on the outside.
Here's a three-point shot by Zielinski. That one's no good. Usually Mike is good from the three-point range, but now a foul.
He had to rush that shot though, Roger.
Looks like this violation will go against Jamie Mundy. That's the Dragons' second team foul. Josh Musgood now in the game for Lake Orion. Where's number 50? He's a 6'6" junior and just has to grow into his size. Basket is made. That shot by Ryan Chapman makes it 9-2. Here's Lindemuth off to Zielinski. Tries to drive the paint, this time up, off the glass and in.
And that's what you want to see Orion do more of, is penetrate, get the better shots, or get to the line.
Here's Wasilk. Zielinski got a hand in it. Now the Dragons come up with it. Andy Lindemuth comes the other way. Good turnover by Lake Orion. Here's Zielinski. Up, shot. That one went to the right and bounced wide. Dragons need to capitalize on those opportunities. Here's Dane Fife. Tries to get past Kibbe, and now the top. Here's a shot by Wasilk. That goes to the right. Pulled down by Josh Muska. And now Lindemuth comes the other way. Andy's the quarterback of the Dragons. And now Mundy has it. Here's Lindemuth around the corner. Muska over to Mundy again. Lindemuth, look for here's Zielinski. This is a three-point shot. That one was short and rolled the other way. Pulled down by Chapman. He comes down court. In the lane, up off the glass and in. Dane Fife raises his hands. 11-4, Clarkston on top.
Fife already has 7.
The Dragons want to shut him down, but they haven't done it so far. Look for Coach Collins to call a timeout if this pace keeps up. Muska gives it off to Kibbe. That is stolen away by Scott Hill. That goes out of bounds. And they roll. It's Clarkston's ball. Actually, they roll. It's a Lake Orion timeout, just as we predicted. And Lake Orion is in a big hole early.
Yeah, but they haven't buried themselves yet. They can still easily come back from this. They really need to bear down, make some better decisions, go for that half-court offense, develop their inside game. They're a very successful three-point shooting team, but what always has made them successful with the three-point shot is they already have the inside game going, and they have their penetration game going, and then the three-pointer is another weapon.
You just saw some of the Lake Orion students here who are competing with Clarkston students section. Clarkston students call themselves the Jungle. You may have read them in the local papers, but there are plenty of Orion fans to match them. Lake Orion has called their first timeout of the night. They're down by 7 with 2:33 to go here in the first quarter. And Steve, you know, Orion has nothing to lose tonight. Clarkston is favored to win by at least 8, and the Dragons weren't even expected to be here in the district championship game.
Well, I think, though, that Orion wants a little bit more. They do have something to lose, actually. They want to prove everybody wrong. They want to win this game, and they want to continue on. These are 7 seniors, I think we decided the other night on the team. They don't want to play their last game today.
The hope is that the Dragons, after they won that game against Romeo, hopefully they weren't just happy to have made it to the district championship. Hopefully during practice yesterday and during this first quarter, they've realized they are in a real game and they can win against the mighty Wolves. Dragons will throw it in again as the officials separate a couple of the players. Muska looks for someone inside, gives it off to Mundy, lost control, gets it back, dribbles out of trouble, puts it up off the glass. That one doesn't go, and that's usually Jamie's patented shot.
Jim Miller in the game.
Jim Miller, who hadn't played a game for the past month until Thursday against Romeo. He was out with mono, but when the game counts for something more than just regular season, what a slam by Jamie Mundy! We have not seen one of those in the last 8 or 9 games, and Mundy comes up with something to rile up the Dragon crowd. 3-point shot, no good. Underneath Goforth, up against Lindemood, gets it back out.
You know what? You know what, Roger? I didn't see who it was, but somebody said a great pick for Monday on that.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, 11-6. Wolves are up by 5. 3-point shot, rims in and out. Dragons come back, they can pull themselves closer. Here's Lindemood, gives it off to Muska for 3. That one, no good. Crowd anticipating a shot, but it didn't go through. The other way, Fife for 3. That one is short. Jamie Mundy pulls it down. Up and down action now.
You think Monday's not pumped?
Well, I tell you, that slam really got the Dragon crowd into this game, and hopefully it woke up the players themselves on the Lake Orion squad. Here's Lindemood. Bounce pass inside to Miller. Up the glass and in. Jim Miller.
Now they're starting to get successful inside. Look for them to start penetrating. Look for that outside shot to be more successful.
Long pass to Tim Wasilk. Now he rainbows it over to Fife. Back out to Wasilk. Passed up the 3. Looked inside the lane. No good. And Aaron Theory pulls it down. Here comes Lake Orion. They can tie things up with a 3-pointer. Inside pass to Miller again. Lost control and it goes out of bounds. Off of the Clarkston player. Lake Orion will have it again. Dragon fans chanting, "Let's go Dragons." They are into this game. We're only in the first quarter.
And just like Thursday, we're starting to see it be a little more physical, a lot of reaching, a lot of pushing. That'll bring the crowd even more into the game.
Here's Theory, got the bounce pass and in. It's a 1-point game. 30 seconds to go in the first quarter, 11-10. Clarkston has not scored in the past few minutes. That 3-point shot no good. Ball comes back out. Here's Chapman in trouble, double team, gets it off to Fife though. He's matched up against Miller, goes inside, off the glass, that rolls in. Lake Orion had scored 6 straight points until that basket. J.J. Kern now. Where's number 11 for the green and white? Muska for the 3. That one rolls out, pulled down, and the horn sounds to end this first quarter of play. Our score, the home Clarkston Wolves lead at 13-10. We'll come back with the second quarter after this. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Channel 65.
So, things are looking pretty great. You're getting good grades, and you're involved in a nice relationship. And how about you? Job's going okay? Looks like you're getting along great with your parents, too. If you think alcohol's the solution, it's not. It's the problem. But you don't have to face it alone. Help is available.
It's a 3-point game as we get ready to start the second session. And Steve, the Dragons have wanted to shut down number 12 on Clarkston, Dane Fife, but he's already got 9 points.
Yeah, he has 9 points, and where they've really been unsuccessful at stopping him is on the transition game. Clarkston's got a lot of rebounds off missed shots by Orion, and they brought it down quick and found Fife. He's doing a good job penetrating. He's a big guy and he's quick. That's tough to cover.
In Clarkston's last game, when they played Wednesday against Lapeer West in the district semifinal, they scored a total of 50 points. Of those 50 points, a combined total by Chapman, Wasilk, and Fife added up to 41. The other players on Clarkston's team scored 9. So if the Dragons shut down those 3, they don't really need to worry about a strong bench coming up for the Wolves. Lake Orion turns it over. And Scott Hill will inbound for Clarkston.
I believe they just called a foul on Jim Miller.
Yes, they did. That is Miller's first, the 3rd team foul. Clarkston's got 2 team fouls. Clarkston has a short bench. They have 3 less players than Lake Orion does. And we may not see a lot of substitutions, especially with their 3 high scorers being the only offensive weapons they have. Here's a shot. This one by Chapman's no good. Pulled down by Aaron Theory.
His legs have been jumping tonight. We haven't seen him much on offense or defense at the ball, but away from it, he's been doing a good job.
Inside, Miller was rejected, but he draws the foul. Jim Miller playing like he's been a star all season.
He's probably very anxious to get out there and perform. Not fun when you're hurt or sick and can't play.
He's been under the weather the last month, but now he's at the free throw line.
That's interesting. That foul was called on Dane Fife, Roger, and we have not seen him much on defense.
No.
It's unclear at this point who he's covering, so he might be the bottom of the zone. I'm not sure yet.
Miller missed the first shot. Here's his second op. That one's no good. Moss had a hand in it, but Clarkston pulls it down. Here comes Ryan Chapman, slows things down for his Wolves, and Dane Fife has it, gives it off to Wasilk. Tim Wasilk, also a football player, looked for the alley-oop to Chapman, lost control on the floor. Aaron Theory dives for it, and they rule it's Clarkston's possession.
Good interior defense, so get your hands at that ball before it goes up with the arms over the head.
Dragons have done an excellent job of getting their hands in. And that's exactly what they wanted to do. They will indeed give Clarkston that 3-point shot, as we've seen Clarkston take the 3-point shot many times already. They haven't hit any of them. The Lake Orions know that trays are not Clarkston's main weapon. Now this 3-point shot, just as I talked about, that one goes through. Basket is scored by Ryan Chapman, and it's 16-10, Clarkston up by 6 again. Here's Steve Moss, where's number 40? Spins out of trouble, double team, bounce pass to Zielinski up against this near line in front of the Dragon cheerleaders. Here's Andy Lindemood, 6:30 in the first half. Ryan Smith spins, gives it off, here's Steve Moss now. Steve Moss, top of the arc to Lindemood, over to Muska. Josh Muska in the corner. That's Mike Zielinski on the far side. Muska now in the same spot. Zielinski over to Lindemood. Dragons looking for the open shot.
Great offensive setup by the Dragons, taking their time, looking for a good shot.
No need to rush things at this point. Here's Lindemood. Gets his man in position. Now Zielinski's there. 2-point shot is blocked by Fife. And he's out of bounds. He did not get rid of it before he fell on that blue stripe. And the Dragons get it back.
They're going to get a good shot if they keep looking for it.
6 minutes straight up in the second quarter, still 16-10. Long pass out to Mundy. Here's Mundy, drives the lane off the glass, that's no good. Got his own rebound underneath, but now Clarkston has it. Dragons were within 1 point, but now Clarkston has increased the lead again. 3-point shot is good. This one by Dane Fife. It's 19-10. Here's Lindemood. Dish off to Smith. Blocked, no foul. Dragon fans disagree.
Smith got slapped in the mouth there.
Here's Wasilk. Long pass out. 2-point shot is no good. Theory's there for the rebound. Smith grabs it. And now here comes Lindemood with the ball.
Coach Collins obviously saw the foul where Smith got hit in the mouth, and that's what he's telling the ref.
Looks like Smith has got a
cut or something. Either that or Coach Collins just drew a technical.
We have not seen an indication by the officials that there's a technical. I doubt that's the case. Collins was indeed pointing to Smith, indicating the blood running from his mouth.
Yep. Last time down when he went to take that shot, he got slapped very hard in the mouth.
No foul called.
There were 4 or 5 players there. The ref just did not see it.
There's Lindemood, play underway again. In the corner, Miller lost control, and Clarkston gets it again. The Dragons were able to calm themselves down in the first quarter and draw it back within 1, but now they've kind of gotten out of their game again.
Yeah, they've been actually doing okay on the offensive end. A couple bad breaks last few times down.
Here's Fife, just had a 3-pointer moments ago. Tim Wasilk looks over to the right corner. This shot is for 2, no good by Goforth. Wasilk has the ball in his hands and gives it off to Fife again. Open lane, draws the foul, and Fife saw the hole and took it.
Orion's gonna have to play him a little more physical, start bumping him, put a bigger man on him on defense.
The Dragons emphasized that yesterday in practice. They spent over 2.5 hours preparing for today's game, and one of the things that Coach Collins focused on was indeed playing physical with Fife, not intentionally fouling him or playing unsportsmanlike, but letting him know that the Dragons are there when he tries to come inside the lane. Mike Zielinski replaces Aaron Theory as Fife is at the line.
Seems to suggest that we'll see a little more of the outside shooting, the 3-point attempts, and on Orion's side.
Fife shot's good. Clarkston has twice as many points as the Dragons do. The foul was on James Miller. That's his second already. Fife's second shot's no good. Rebound is pulled down. Mundy had it, but Clarkston now in possession in the corner. Chapman gives it off to Wasilk. Wasilk with Fife in motion underneath. Here's a 3-point shot by Chapman is short. Dragons need to get the rebound, but no one's there except for Bill Goforth. Here's Wasilk again. Looks at the basket, passes it up. Over to Chapman for 3. That one is good, and they count it as 2 as toe must have been on the line. 2-point shot makes it 22-10. Dragons now have been held scoreless for actually all this quarter.
The Wolves had scored no 3-pointers in the first quarter. They have 3 this quarter.
Clarkston has scored the last 10 points in a row, which goes back to the end of the first quarter. We've got 3:46 to go here in the half now.
What are you doing?
The foul is on Andy Lindemood. That's his first, the team's 5th. Andy now on the bench, as he just saw. Josh Muska also sits down for Lake Orion.
Orion really needs to pick it up on defense here for the final 3.5 minutes of the first half. Turn some turnovers into some easy baskets and just stay focused. Keep Clarkston below 30.
Fife lost control on that one, and he complains that one of the Dragons was holding on to his jersey. Rolled off his right hand, and Lake Orion will throw it in from the far side. Here's J.J. Kern up across midcourt. Kern tries to go inside. Up, nice shot, doesn't get it. Own rebound though, underneath. Count the basket, and the foul.
And J.J. Kern was a spark plug against Romeo. Maybe he can be the same thing right here.
J.J. scored 8 points in that game against Romeo. He scored all 8 points in the second half. Gets the 2-point basket and also draws the foul for one more here. The foul goes on Ryan Chapman, his first, 4th team foul for Clarkston. Kern gets his own rebound, gives it off to Moss inside. Several players there. Miller had a hand on it, but Clarkston comes down. Fife now to call out the play. Here's Goforth, looks inside to Fife. Jim Miller pulls it down. Miller, 6'7", the tallest player on the court right now. JJ looks over to Miller himself. Back to Kern. 2:45 to go in the first half at Clarkston High School. 22-12. Miller's basket will make it 22-14.
And Jim Miller is the leading scorer for Orion. He's got 6.
This has been a very streaky game here in the first half. Like Orion scored 6 points in a row, Clarkston scored 10 in a row, and now the Dragons have the last 2 baskets. Here's Fife, spins around. That one's no good though, and the Dragons come down with it. Zielinski with the board. Now here's J.J. Kern across the Wolf at center court, and call the foul on Jamie Mundy, who disagrees, but the official feels otherwise. And actually, they called this one on Miller. That's his 3rd. And look for Coach Collins to make a substitution here. The officials now conferring at center court. And now Coach Collins on the sideline wants to know what's going on. Wants his players to talk to each other, just as he said. That was another one of the fundamentals the Dragons worked on in practice yesterday, Steve. We keep going back to it, but they talked about talking to each other and making sure that they're keeping the communication the entire game, as now there must be blood on the floor as the crew is out there to clean it up. 22-14 here in the first half, and while we have this opportunity, we'll remind you that you can catch up on all the Lake Orion happenings every week here on Orion Community Television. Join Joe Johnson and Lori St. Germain on News 65. They highlight local news, events, and indeed sports. News 65 is on Tuesdays through Fridays at 7 p.m. here on Channel 65. And for you sports fans watching this afternoon's game, make sure you watch News 65 every week for coverage of Lake Orion sports. Of course, wrestlers are in individual state competition this weekend. There's basketball playoffs going on, and spring sports, including baseball, are just weeks away. Clarkston players are out there to help clean off the floor, and you now get a look at the Swamp People. Those are the Clarkston parents, and they call themselves the Swamp People because the Clarkston students are the jungle. So you go ahead and make the connection for what it's worth.
I'm afraid of swamp people. Saw a scary movie once, Roger, but I don't think this is the appropriate time to go into that. But I am afraid of them.
Finally, we're back in the action. Tim Wassilk calls out the play. 2 minutes straight up here in the first half of this district championship.
Orion's got to pick it up on defense here.
Here's Chapman, pass it up. Now gives it off. Here's Wassilk, spins, gets it back out to Hill. Now on the near side, that's Chapman. Triple team by the Dragons, playing well inside on defense. Now Wassilk. Chapman back to Wassilk for 3. This one goes through. Makes it 25-14. J.J. Kern now with 1.5 to go in the second quarter. Gives it over to Muska, and the Clarkston crowd is starting their
holding him.
Chance, 3-point shot by J.J. Kern is good. J.J. Kern has been on fire this postseason. Makes another 3 that time. Off the glass, no good by Wassilk. Josh Muska has it. 1 minute even now in the second quarter. Coach Collins calls out the offense. 25-17. Here's Jason Kibbe. Kibbe tries to go inside, gets the basket. Jason Kibbe, impressive, was matched up against the Clarkston defender, but gets it to fall. Now watch for Clarkston to look for the final shot. They've got 35 seconds on the clock. And at the center court, looks like this is Tim Wassilk just dribbling away. Finally gives it off to Chapman. And Wasilk has it again. 20 seconds now in this first half. 25-19. Clarkston Wolves have led all the way. Here's Chapman. Now Clarkston will start moving their offense. They've got 10 seconds to go. Give it off to Fife. Three-point shot. That is good. Dane Fife with the reaction afterwards. And the horn will sound to end this first half of play in the district championship. Your score, the Clarkston Wolves at home lead it 28-19. We'll come back with some halftime stats after this. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Channel 65.
Begin the revolution of love. The joy of loving is in the joy of sharing. When my poor people are hungry for bread, I give them the piece of bread. But when they are hungry for love, lonely, unwanted, unloved, it takes very, very tender, compassionate understanding and love. And it's something so beautiful that love begins at home. And that can spread like a burning fire from house to house. We will spread throughout the world peace, joy, unity, and love. I call it a revolution of love.
And back at Clarkston High School for this district championship at halftime. Our score, the Dragons are down by 9. It's 28-19. And Steve, let's take a halftime look at some of the stats. First, for the Wolves of Clarkston, as we talked about during the entire first half, they only have really 3 guns on this team, and that has been proven tremendously in the first half. Tim Wasilk has 5 points, Ryan Chapman has 7, and Dane Fife has 16. That's just as many as he had in that Lapeer West game.
Yeah, and that's no surprise to Lake Orion. They knew that's what Clarkston's going to come out and do, hit those 3 players for the shooting. A lot of those baskets, though, have been transitions baskets, especially in the first quarter. In the second quarter, Orion got a little bit better on stopping that on defense. Then the three-pointer became a weapon as Clarkston had, I believe, 4 of them in the second quarter.
Yep, they had 4 three-pointers, and as we talked about, they only have had those 3 shooters. No one else on Clarkston team has scored a basket so far in this game. As for the Dragons, their leading scorer is Jim Miller, but he's got 3 fouls already.
Yeah, he has 6 great points. He stepped in and he's really stepped it up for Lake Orion. Monday had a great dunk, but they haven't been hitting the 3. They haven't been shooting it in the second quarter, and they really haven't been getting a whole lot of shots, to be honest with you. They're losing the ball on turnovers, and then they're having to face some tough shots from the outside. They're getting pushed a little bit, and they're going to have to play a little more aggressive on offense. And you won't hear that much me saying that about Lake Orion, because they do play an aggressive offense usually, but Clarkston, the referees are letting both teams play, and Clarkston is taking advantage of that, and Orion has yet to match up with that. They'll have to do that in the second half.
Miller has got the 6 points. Jamie Mundy has 4, and I believe J.J. Kern has 5, and Kern has probably been the spark plug of this half.
Yeah, and that's no surprise. We saw him step in against Romeo on Thursday, and he played great, picked up 8 points in the second half, and lessened the turnover rate. So maybe in the second half we'll see more of Zielinski shooting the 3. Muska has not been established yet today. Really the big men, we've talked about this before the game, we haven't really mentioned it on the broadcast yet. Orion's got a size advantage over Clarkston. They're going to have to go to that in the second half. And what's really interesting is Clarkston's strategy has Fife playing sort of a bottom of a zone. He only steps in once in a while if it looks like there's going to be a basket. He's not going to be in foul trouble, so they're going to have to find a way to stop him on the defensive end.
The Dragons will have to step it up on both ends, and we'll start the second half after this. You're watching Dragon Sports on Channel 65 in Lake Orion.
What's your idea of the perfect companion? A good listener? Someone active? Maybe on the mysterious side? Or more mature? Are great eyes important? What about a nice, lean body? Does a strong sense of family appeal to you? Well, this is your lucky day, because we know exactly where to find the special someone you're looking for, even if it's the baby-faced, devil-may-care type you're after.
Back at Clarkston High School as we're ready to start the second half of play. Dragons down by 9. try it again. Dragons are down by 9. And Steve, they really need to come up strong, especially defensively, but they've got to start hitting some baskets too.
Yeah, and look for them to shoot more threes now that they've had the inside game established.
Right in front of our table is Scott Hill, wears number 35, and Hill inbound it to start this third quarter off. Lake Orion comes out with Smith, Mundy, Jim Miller, Aaron Theory, and Andy Lindemood on the floor. This shot is no good, too long. Pulled down by Hill, and now here's Wasilk. That shot is good. Count it for 3. Basket by Dane Fife, I believe, makes it 31-19. And now's the test of how good of a team the Dragons are. If they can come back into this game, they can keep their composure, or if they'll just let Clarkston have their way with them for the second half. Watch for Lake Orion to slow things down, but indeed play stronger. Now here's Theory. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound underneath, also not good. That one doesn't fall. Theory's there playing hard, falls down, and they call the travel on Aaron Theory.
He got hit too.
Clarkston players were all over him, and that's ridiculous. He got hit in the head and comes back wincing. And he just can't believe they didn't call a foul on that. Nonetheless, the officials are the ones that make the call, and Clarkston drives a lane, gives it back out. Here's Fife. Over in the corner. Tim Wasilk, 31-19, 6:50 to go in the third quarter. Here's Wasilk, bounce pass to Chapman, stops, 3-point arc, no basket, count the foul.
That's a frustration foul by Mundy. He had to fight through 2 picks, and they really closed it up on him. When he's going through the picks, there might have been a foul offensive that was let go, but he came through it and then just made kind of a dumb foul there on the shooter.
Mike Zielinski comes into the game for Lake Orion. He replaces Aaron Theory. Theory will get that bump looked at by the trainer. Up at the line now is Ryan Chapman. He will shoot 3 baskets. It was a 3-point shot that he took that he got the foul on. Makes the first, has 2 more chances here. Chapman makes it again. And here comes the last one of the 3-point play. Also good. Chapman capitalizes on the 3-point foul, and it's 34-19, biggest lead Clarkston has had all afternoon. Here's Mundy. Gives it off in the corner. Mundy has it again. Out to Lindemood. Andy Lindemood gets it to Mundy. Tries to go inside. That one will go to the left. Pulled down by Smith with his hand on it, but Fife is there too, and now Miller gets the jump ball called, and it's Dragons ball according to the possession arrow. They will throw it in. Andy Lindemood there on the C in Clarkston along that baseline. Here's Mundy was in it, but the Dragons turn it over. Dane Fife up against Zielinski and Ryan Smith, and they call the foul on Zielinski. And that one I can't agree with because Fife came down on Zielinski.
I'll tell you what, Roger. If you're going to get a foul on Fife, make sure he doesn't score the baskets, and that at least did happen there. You want to foul him hard. Oh, they called an intentional foul.
They must have. The scorekeeper does not make that announcement, but Fife is alone with nobody else around him to shoot the free throws. And they called intentional indeed. It is now 35-19.
Well, now I agree with you. I can't believe they called an intentional foul on that. That's called a hometown call, my friend.
Fife was coming down.
Oh, man.
And came on top of Zielinski. Fife missed the second.
Or was that a technical?
Couldn't have been a technical. They didn't indicate the T.
Wow.
Clarkston gets the ball back too. Here's Fife. Over to Tim Wasilk. 6 minutes now in the third quarter remaining. 35-19.
The really sad thing about it is the last 2 times down, we've seen Clarkston get to the line on Lake Orion fouls, but Lake Orion they have the right idea. They're picking it up on defense, being more aggressive and pushing just as they need to do.
Clarkston calls a timeout. And Dan Fife, I should say, is on the floor scolding Bill Goforth.
That's not a real good thing to see.
No, and I think this might be more of an act than anything else. As you watch this game, you will see many of the Clarkston players kind of act cocky after they score a basket, especially Dane Fife. Every time he scored a basket, he's come down with some sort of little dance after the score. And, you know, being excited is one thing, but just general sportsmanship is another. And we have gotten the impression at times that the entire Clarkston program has had the sense of arrogance around them. But they lead, so
those things tend to come around.
You can't say much. Clarkston came into tonight with the win-loss record of 18-4. They finished the regular season 16-4.
They're a very good team.
They won 2 district games. They're the home team in this district round, so they had to play in the opening round, whereas the Dragons got a bye those first 2 days. Clarkston has held strong. They beat Holly on Monday, I should say. Clarkston won Monday 61-30, and then they beat Lapeer West 3 nights ago, 50-32, and they're beating the Dragons by a large margin too.
Now, if Orion,
3-point shot is short.
If Orion can really bear down here, this is where the comeback has to begin.
Here's Miller outside to Lindemood. Back to Muska in the corner. Watch for the Dragons to switch positions. Long pass over to Zielinski. Mike gives it over to Muska on the other side. Here's Lindemood. Tries to go up. Now off to Miller in the near corner. Dribbles out of the way. Over to Lindemood. Zielinski's there now. Dragons want a 3-point shot. Ball goes through the hands of Josh Muska, and you've got to hold on to those.
Now, I don't know if you noticed it down there, Roger. I was watching Fife and Miller going at it down low that time down the court. Fife was actually covering somebody, very impressive, but no call on the inside.
Has Lake Orion scored this half?
Dragons have not scored this half. It was 28-19 at the intermission, and now Clarkston adds 3 more. Triple by Ryan Chapman. They have 10 straight points. Now here's Mundy. That basket's no good, but he does indeed get the foul on Tim Wasilk. That is Wasilk's first. Only the first foul for Clarkston this half. Mundy will go to the line. It's a shooting foul. If the Dragons are going to get back into this game, now's the time to do it. They can't wait any longer. 4:27 to go in the third session. At the line is Jamie Mundy. Wears number 34, number 33 for the green and white. 6'3", a senior. Had 11 points in the Dragons' last game against Romeo. Jamie no good with that one. Looks at the basket again. Bright sun behind that basket. Looks up at it. Here's the shot. That one in and out, no good. And Clarkston gets the rebound. Dane Fife, number 12. That pass intended for Scott Hill, but it was pulled down by Wasilk instead. Here's Fife. Off from the corner, Brad Conley. First time we've seen him tonight. He wears 23 for Clarkston. Now inside. Here's a shot. Chapman no good, and call the travel on him. I think that's the first turnover we've seen Clarkston make in quite some time.
Yeah, they're performing to their highest level in the second half, and that's got to be very disheartening for Orion. There still is enough time. It'd take a lot to bring them back and win this one now, but it can be done. You got to wonder, though, how they're feeling emotionally out there.
38-19. Clarkston has doubled the Dragons' score. Count the foul on the floor. This goes against Tim Wasilk.
Foul number 4 for Clarkston, Tim Wasilk.
And that is now his second. He said the only 2 fouls Clarkston has had this half. Lindemood is there to throw it in to Zielinski. Zielinski in the paint, gives it off to Lindemood in the corner. He's pressured by Conley with hands in his face. Lindemood gets out of it. Bounce pass barely to Steve Moss. And now Muska. Here's Josh. Bounce pass to Mundy inside. And that one goes in and out. The Dragons definitely not getting the breaks with the round ball tonight. Mundy has had plenty of shots, and many of them have done just that. They rim in and out. Now underneath, Dane Fife over his back. And it is now 40-19. Dragons still scoreless this half. They lose control, and Clarkston has it again. Now here's Wasilk to Fife. Alley-oop, no good. Count the foul on Andy Lindemood, and Andy shows some frustration.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to see some frustration now on Orion's part.
3:05 to go in the third quarter. The Dragons will call a timeout. And there it is as they make it call. Clarkston fans stand on their feet and give their team a round of applause. Clarkston has scored 12 straight points this half. And now they have a game in hand if they just keep playing their game.
Yeah, Orion has been unable to put any points up on the board this half. The defense has been there, just hasn't been able to stop the shots. Hasn't went quite the way I'm sure they talked about it at halftime.
Coach Collins now perhaps reviewing what they did indeed talk at halftime. Dragon fans still standing, the students there.
A lot of fans in the Orion stands look a little bit, getting a bit down.
This gym is at capacity. 1,500 people here in attendance this afternoon for a huge rival matchup between the Dragons and the Wolves. There you see the Lake Orion cheerleaders on the floor as Dane Fife steps up to the line to shoot his 2 baskets. Fife nails the first one. Dane Fife, of course, the younger brother of Dugan Fife and Jeremy Fife. Dugan playing in his final home game this year as a senior at the University of Michigan this afternoon, just a couple hours from this contest. And in fact, Steve, an interesting story about that game. Of course, Clarkston's head coach is Dan Fife, and he was rumored to have said to an unnamed source that he wanted to get down to see that Michigan game at Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor. And Coach Fife said that he'd be able to leave at halftime because this game would be over. Coach Collins used that in practice yesterday to hopefully get his team riled up for this game, but indeed, I believe Coach Fife was closer to being right as Clarkston led by 9 at the half, and now they're up by, I believe, 23 points. It's 42-19. Dragons have been stuck on 19 for a long time. Jim Miller's tray is no good. Clarkston has the rebound again, and that's another thing the Wolves have done excellently tonight. They have gotten the ball off the glass almost every time.
Yeah, they're performing at top level today.
Now here's Chapman over. Wasilk looks for the open man. Conley has it. Got checked in the face by Zielinski. Look for those two to get a little bit hostile towards each other. No foul as Conley falls. 3-point shot is no good. Dragons there for the rebound this time as it went towards the Clarkston bench. 2:15 to go in the quarter. Lindemood loses control, gets it back, goes through the hands of Dane Fife in the paint. Clarkston will throw it in. J.J. Kearns in the game. Look for him to replace Lindemood. Dragons playing physical, but We'll see if they can get themselves back in the game offensively. Here's the pass to Muska. Over to Zielinski. Three-point shot. That one is short. And it goes off the top of the board. It goes counted as out of bounds, and Clarkston to throw it in. Mike Zielinski can be deadly from three-point range. Has not hit a triple tonight, though.
Yeah, Lake Orion only has one three-pointer tonight. They've struggled outside.
Should say this afternoon because it is being played on a Saturday afternoon, but those of you watching this broadcast see it here on Channel 65 in the evening. Part of the tape-delayed scenario. Three-point shot by Fife, no good, and now a foul. We'll have to check and see who this goes against. It is number 34, Aaron Theory. That is Aaron's first. Theory can also be deadly from three-point range, but has kind of gone cold in the last couple of games. Did not score a point on Thursday against Romeo. And we check our stat sheet here. Theory does not have a point tonight either. Just last week he had 5 triples against, I believe, Royal Oak Dondero in the final game of the regular season. Dragons won that one 62-46. Won against Romeo 50-47 2 nights ago to bring them to today's game. And with 1.5 to go, it's still 42-19. The Wolves on top. Kibbe passed up the three to J.J. Kern. Gives it off to Jamie Mundy now. Here's Mundy in the corner. Pass intended for Zielinski. Stolen away, though, by Wasilk. Stops at the free throw line, puts it up and in. 44-19. You know, Steve, the Dragons have not scored yet in this quarter, and they've only got a minute now left here in the third. Mike Zielinski for 3. Hits it. That's the first basket this half for the Dragons. 44-22. Under a minute now in the third quarter. And now Clarkston will just bite some time off the clock. Look for them to make passes around the perimeter. Here's Chapman over to Fife. Fife up against Kibbe. Waited for Kibbe to go up, then threw it up himself. No good. Rebound, though, by Scott Hill.
Very interesting note about Clarkston scoring, Roger. We still have only seen 3 Clarkston players put up points today.
Unbelievable. The Dragons wanted to shut down those big 3, Wasilk, Fife, and Chapman, but as indicated by the score, they have not been able to do that. That trio combined for 41 points in their last game. They've got 44 now. No one else
in the third quarter.
Yeah, and no one else in the Clarkston bench has gotten a shot to fall. 25 and 9/10 to go in this quarter. And Clarkston inbounds it again. Here's Wasilk up against Kern. This is the last home game for Clarkston this season, even if they do win. Winner of today's game will go on to the regional contest as Troy Sager's in the game for the first time. Doesn't get the layup to roll. Here's Kibbe, and count the foul. That one was obvious against Scott Hill, who hit Kibbe almost in the head. 6.5 seconds on the clock. That is just the third team foul against the Wolves. And Kern will inbound it from the near side. Now here's Mundy up against 3 Wolves. No good. Ball's tipped up in the air. Pulled down by Hill, and the buzzer sounds to end this third quarter of play. The Wolves have gone on to dominate this game. It's 44-22. We'll come back with the fourth quarter after this. You're watching Dragon Basketball. You're on Orion Community Television.
Drinking and dating, it's a scream.
Ready for the fourth quarter of play now, and Steve, Dane Fife, number 12 for the Wolves, has got 24 points.
Yeah, he's played great tonight on offense. That's no surprise. He's a great scorer. He's got a pretty shot. He's a big guy. He's quick.
Dragons have faltered in their efforts to shut him down. And now we start this last quarter of play, 44-22.
I think
home team go ahead on top.
Yep. I think what Coach Collins is going to ask from his team now is to play a very strong fourth quarter, show some pride, show some charisma. A lot of seniors on this team. I think I said earlier 7, there's actually 8.
Yeah, Dragons have 8 seniors, which is a lot for a varsity team, but they also have a good, strong crew of juniors sitting on the bench and in the game, in fact, who will remember this contest when they come back to play varsity ball again next year. They do not want to end the season on a bad note. If they play a strong quarter of play, at least that's something to build on.
They've played a strong season. They've been close in a lot of games. They've won a lot of games. And they've been very sportsmanlike in most of their games.
Dragons had a 14-6 regular season, won 1 district playoff game. And during that regular season, Steve, they played Royal Oak Kimball twice. Kimball was the top team in Oakland County, according to some of the local papers, even though after seeing tonight's game, I would definitely vouch that Clarkston is a better team. But the Dragons only lost by 2 and by 4 to Royal Oak Kimball in those 2 games. Should have won 1 because of an official call. Nonetheless, they stayed close to a top team in those 2 games. They lost to Waterford Mott twice. Both games there were no more than 5 or 6 point margins. And the team simply collapsed in their other 2 losses. Just didn't play strong consistently in all the games. But some of their wins were huge. They beat Troy Athens twice this year, which was phenomenal, seeing as how the way Athens played against them. Both games came down to the final minute. Ball's out of bounds as Mundy looked for someone to throw it off to.
Yeah, this is a very good Orion team, and they've come a long way this season.
There comes Tim Wasilk, 46-22.
Get Josh. Come on, get Josh now.
Now here's Dane Fife, gives it off to Conley.
Get Josh.
Chapman gets called for the travel. That's the second time he's walked tonight. As you take a look at him there, Chapman is 6'1", weighs 170 pounds, is a senior. He had 12 points in that game against Lapeer West. And Chapman had 7 at the end of the first half here, and I think he's got 13 overall tonight.
Tell him to get down here before somebody comes and gets him. Get him down.
Here's Mundy. Gives it over to Kern in the corner. Basket is good. That one by Mike Zielinski for 2. Back comes Clarkston. Here's Dane Fife again. Spins out of the way.
Ronnie, send him
Call the foul on Jason Kibbe this time. Jason was screened on that play. Ran right into the Wolf. And now Clarkston will go back to the line. That's the 7th team foul for the Dragons, 2nd for Kibbe. And for the rest of this afternoon's contest, every time Orion fouls Clarkston, the Wolves will go to the free throw line. This is a 1-and-1 situation. Has to hit the first. No good, though. That shot by Scott Hill was short.
And Hill blew it there because that was a chance for Clarkston to have 4 players score this game.
Here's a 2-point shot by Kibbe. Goes in and out. Again by Mundy. Spins around and hooks it in. Good job by Jamie to stay in the lane. Wait for the ball to come down. Ball goes out of bounds. And Lake Orion will get it back. And now the Dragons call timeout with 6:02 to go here in the 4th quarter. And while we have this chance, Steve would like to quickly run down a list of thank yous, starting with the Lake Orion staff at the high school. Don Hoganson, who is the gym manager for the Dragons at home and scorekeeper on the road during the regular season, has done an outstanding job helping us with stats. And in fact, Steve, you told me before tonight's game that as for a human interest story, his dad is here at tonight's game. His dad lives up in the Keweenaw Peninsula in Calumet, Michigan. Drove 612 miles to come here for this game, and I think that's probably the longest longest distance a person has traveled to come see this contest this afternoon.
But you can bet he's going to request a videotape.
I also want to thank Athletic Director Darren Abbasi, who has supported us. All the players, of course, on the Dragon team and their parents who've enjoyed our commentary, hopefully. Also want to thank assistant coach Jim Manzo, who's been always willing to talk to us before and after games. 46-26, under 6 minutes to go now on game time. J.J. Kern has it. Kern off to Mike Zielinski. Three-point shot. That one was too long, just bounced back, and the Dragons have had too many shots like that tonight. Ball's going in and then rimming back out. They draw the foul on this play, though. Jason Kibbe will go to the free throw line to shoot two. Foul goes against Ryan Chapman, his second. That's Clarkston's fourth team foul, and Kibbe is at the line. Here's Jason's first shot. Too long, bounces back towards him. Jamie Mundy stepped in to lend him a hand of support there with that low five. There's Kibbe's second shot. This one is good. Now on the game for the Dragons, first time this afternoon, is Roger Williams. Williams is a junior and a transfer student. Just started attending Lake Orion in the fall. Clarkston has it again. Now a foul.
Second foul on number 50.
This foul goes against Josh Muska, as you see him there. Muska, a junior, and next year fans watch for him to be one of the leaders on this team. Muska is 6'6" right now. Perhaps he'll grow a couple more inches, increase his strength throughout this spring and summer, and then come back next winter with even a better season than he's had this year. Dane Fife is at the line, and a foul is called in the lane against Jamie Mundy. That is Jamie's third, Dragons' ninth team foul, and now Fife will shoot again. Fife does not get that one to go, and Mundy pulls it down. It's a 19-point lead for the Wolves. J.J. Kern, nice bounce pass behind his back over to Muska, and now Mundy has it. Kern again from the free throw line, up in the air, no good. Ball out of bounds off of the Clarkston hands. Muska will throw it in for the green and white. And in fact, looks like J.J. is gonna take over those duties instead. And now they switch things off on us again, and Muska's there next to the official, and back we go. Here's Muska for three. That one rolls out. Wasilk with the ball now. Jamie Mundy towering by him. Wasilk held up to throw it until after Jamie went by. Here's Wasilk over to Chapman. Three-point shot is good. Ryan Chapman gets three more. That's his second triple. Now here's Mundy with a triple of his own. That one's too long. Rebound by Muska, put up. No good. And now Dane Fife has it. Fife long pass to Chapman, up off the glass and in. And now, unfortunately, Steve, Clarkston is walking away with this game.
Yeah, and actually Orion's keeping their cool very well. This has got to be very frustrating for them.
Especially in front of the Clarkston fans, but the Dragons know they've got a long list of supporters for themselves. And now some of the Clarkston players talking. There's Chapman and Wasilk. Don't have a microphone down there, but one can only wonder what they're saying to the Dragon players. That foul is on Mike Zielinski. That's his fourth. One more and he'll be done for the year. And Mike, as a senior, it'll be unfortunate to see him move on. He's been one of the strong leaders of this Dragon program while he's been on the varsity team. And in fact, I think he's been on varsity for at least 2.5 years. At the line is Chapman.
Probably should take this chance to mention all the seniors. You have Mike Zielinski, Troy Sagers, Jason Kibbe, Andy Lindemood,
Derek Berger, who doesn't play a lot, but he's still, you know, yesterday in practice, Steve, Berger was involved in a lot of the practice. That long arc, no good.
Jamie Monday is another one. Aaron Thury, Steve Moss. Believe we've got everyone there.
Basket, that one by Chad Bailey in the game for the first time.
And of course Zielinski, who you mentioned
Mike Zielinski.
earlier.
3:50 now to go in regulation. Josh Muska with a two-pointer. Easy shot for him, makes it 55-29. Bounce pass over to Scott Hill, and now look for Clarkston to put some of their reserves in here, as they have got to save their top scorers for their next game. Here's Fife, gets it back out. Over now Hill and Fife in the corner. Bailey has it. Clarkston now looking to milk the clock. There's Wasilk, drives. Fife, three-point shot no good, as Wasilk drew through players. Dragons get it back. Here's J.J. Kern. Kern around behind the bag. Looks for someone open. That one is picked off by Dane Fife. And now the hold by Jamie Mundy. We'll draw another whistle by the officials. Mundy over there on the bench, or near the bench, leaning over. That is Jamie's fourth foul. Gets a handshake from Coach Collins. And now Coach Collins will sit down some of the seniors. Aaron Theory and J.J. Kern come in. Also Scott Hill sits down. Scott Hill, a senior for Clarkston. Perhaps has played his last minute here in front of his home crowd. Dane Fife at the free throw line. Puts this one up. Too long, bounces right back towards his hands. We also especially want to thank Steve, Coach Dave Collins, for all his efforts to help us. We started following this Dragon team maybe a third of the way through the season, and every time I see him, he tells me we do anything he can to help us out. He's always happy to tell us what's going through his mind before and after contests, never turns down an interview. He is a first-class man, and the Dragons are lucky to have Dave Collins as their varsity men's basketball coach.
And we look forward to seeing more, Dave. I believe he was just named head baseball coach varsity.
Well, yeah, he'll be the interim varsity coach for the boys baseball team this spring, I believe, due to an illness involved with coach and teacher Neil Roberts. So Collins will fill in as one of the varsity coaches. I'm not quite sure if he'll be the head coach, but that season is still a couple weeks away. We still have 2:40 to go in this game.
Derek Berger got that last basket there.
Derek Berger with his first 2 points of the night, 56-31. 2.5 to go in regulation at Clarkston High School. The Wolves have led this one all afternoon. They started out on fire, and they have increased their lead gradually. Here's Bailey, got out of trouble to Fife. In the corner, number 20, that's Mike Matrit. Matrit with the shot is too long. Pulled down by Bailey as Troy Sagers was in his face. Here's Fife now, bounce pass. Over number 25 with a shot, no good. That was Shepard. No foul called as P.J. Petrello got his hands on it, and the basket.
And you know what, Roger? I could be wrong, but I believe those are the first 2 points that Clarkston has scored. Had somebody score other than Wasilk, Fife, or Chapman.
Clarkston fans on their feet as Dane Fife sits down with 1:39 to go in this fourth quarter. His team up by 27 points, 58-31. And I believe we've seen the last of Fife this afternoon, fortunately for the Dragons. Back comes Bailey. Gives it off to Matrit. And now some of the other reserves are in the game. Dion gave it back to Shepard, no good. Ball goes out of bounds and it'll be Lake Orion's possession. After tonight, of course, Lake Orion will, in a sense, this is the last game of the year. They've got 1:19 to go. However, for Clarkston, they move on. They win this 1996 district championship and will play the winner of another district game going on today. Waterford Mott is hosting Pontiac Northern at the same time. And that winner will play against Clarkston at Macomb Dakota High School on Tuesday. Ball goes out of bounds. And of course, the state championships are, well, actually 2 weeks from today. Saturday afternoon, March the 23rd at East Lansing's Breslin Center on the campus of Michigan State University. All 4 classes will have their state championships held that day. And even though Lake Orion won't be there, true basketball fans, it will be a great day of high school competition to go out and see if you've got the time to spend.
That's good by James Armstrong. Marksman foul number 42, Mark Mazer.
Fouls again, Mark Mazer, who didn't even play on Wednesday against Lapeer West. He'll send James Armstrong to the line. James himself did not play in the Dragons last game, misses that shot.
And Roger, if you look over at the Dragons bench, there is a very disappointed team. They did not play as well as they had hoped to come out and play today. And there's a lot of tears going on there. Coach Collins is keeping very cool over there, shaking everybody's hand as they come off and thanking them for the season. That's great to see.
Petrello comes out aggressively, gets it back. Now 45 seconds to go in the Lake Orion season. They call a foul. We also want to thank Steve, our TCI, or Orion Community Television crew, who is helping out with tonight's game and all of the games we've covered this year, including Xander Scott, Tony Rothschild, Gary Dudlitz, and Randy Timms, all on camera this afternoon. And of course, there's always Joe Johnson, the studio coordinator for Lake Orion. And without his help, we wouldn't have been able to follow the Dragons this season and bring you all these games. Ball is out of bounds. 58-35, and we look at the Dragon bench. You saw all seniors in that shot. Who know?
What's real nice, though, is we saw a few smiles.
Now here's Petrello. Fakes, puts it up again. That one goes in and out. That's been the story of today's game. Armstrong gets it blocked. And now under 10 seconds to go. The Clarkston fans are on their feet. Petrello will get charged with the foul with 3.2 ticks to go. And now Clarkston will have a chance to make it 60 points on the afternoon. 58-35. At the line is Matt Brown. He will shoot 2 as his team is in the bonus. If nothing else, the Dragons can be proud of the fact that they won a district game in the postseason. Of course, they had gone for 12 years without winning a district playoff round game until 2 nights ago when they beat Romeo. And that's something to build on for next year as clock winds down. And this game is over. The championship goes to Clarkston. Our final score from Clarkston High School. The Lake Orion Dragons fall 59-35. The Dragons now have completed their season. Clarkston goes on to play in the regional contest. We'll come back with some final stats after this. You're watching Dragon Basketball on Channel 65.
The Oakland County Parks are a great place to play and work. You can enjoy being outdoors in a variety of seasonal jobs. Earn money while you have fun working with your peers and enjoy on-the-job training with a professional staff. Lifeguards keep watch at 3 sandy beaches and 2 wave-action pools. Program leaders and specialists coordinate activities for all ages, including campground and mobile recreation programs. Attendants and laborers beautify the parks, assist visitors, and keep golfers on par. In winter, staff is needed for the fridge, Michigan's first refrigerated toboggan run. You must be 16 years or older. For more information about these positions, please call 810-858-0906.
And back here at Clarkston High School, the final of today's championship game for the district. The Dragons lose 59-35 to the Clarkston Wolves. And Steve, Dane Fife was unbelievable. He had 27 points.
Yeah, and Orion knew he was going to be tough to stop early on, and he really was. He hit threes. He was good on transitions, hit his outside shot, penetrated well. They just couldn't stop him, and that's not surprising. The Fifes have all been good shooters.
Ryan Chapman also had 20, and he got fed by Fife many times on passes.
Yeah, he's a senior, and he played very well, and they're going to need him in their next against their next opponent. Need him to step up, score some more points, share the load with Fife in case somebody can actually stop Fife. So
that's the case. The Dragons thought they would be able to shut down Fife. No one else has been able to do it this season, and neither were the Dragons. As for Lake Orion, the leading scorer was Mike Zielinski. He had 7 points, but the rest of the team really spread out the scoring.
Yeah, unfortunately there wasn't a whole lot of offense, and Orion just really couldn't get their game plan going today, and that happens sometimes. You hate to see that with 8 seniors, your district finals, but they've had a great season, Roger. I don't want to harp on what went wrong today, but
yeah, it seemed like in every game the Dragons have this year, someone has always stepped up. It's either been Kibbe or Kern or Zielinski or Theory and so on. But tonight there really wasn't anybody who kind of vaulted above the rest. They were all shut down by the Clarkston defense, and Orion's defense just could not contain those 3 scorers, Chapman, Wasilk, and Dane Fife.
You're right.
Well, that wraps it up here from Clarkston High School. Again, the Dragons lose in the district championship. Your final score, Clarkston 59, Lake Orion 35. And program note for those of you who are basketball fans, in 2 or 3 weeks, make sure you watch the listings in the Lake Orion Review and the program guide published on Channel 65. There will be a special Dragons Den edition, a postseason edition, where we talk to Coach Dave Collins, Jim Manzo, and some of the Lake Orion basketball players, so make sure you watch for that coming up in just 2 or 3 weeks here on Channel 65. But until then, for Steve Weingarten, I'm Roger Smith. Have a good night from Clarkston High School.